Good morning, my friends. Welcome back. It's Belinda here from Visualized NZ. Today's project, I'm going to make, I don't know what to call them. I'm just going to call them a shirt pocket. There are like tuxedo pockets out there. They're nothing new. I think I'm doing something a little different, but not entirely positive. But we'll just go with the flow and you'll see what I'm doing and you can judge for yourselves. So what I'm using today is, back in the kind of mid-year sales when they were selling off their diaries, I picked up some for 7 cents. You know, paper for 7 cents, a lot of paper for 7 cents each. You just can't, buy it any cheaper than that. So I've got this little diary, which I've coffee dyed. I just went through it and with a paintbrush and my coffee, and then I added some splatters. And so it's all lovely and coffee dyed. So I'm going to be using that for collage. And then I've got this larger one, which is spiral bound. So I've already removed some pages for today, but I'm just going to show you a new one. So I'm going to take that out and put the diary aside. And then this is a design team project for Creating with Jovi. So I'm going to be using this digital kit here, which is a Christmas one. Yes, I'm going to be doing some little Christmas bits and pieces. So there's lots of background pages in here, and there's also a little bit of ephemera fussy cut type stuff. So mainly I'm going to be working with the background papers, and then if we get time we might do a little decorating with some of the fussy cuts. But first let me show you. So this is an A5 bit of paper, and I'm just going to trim off the where the holes are. What do you call it? The strip where it was bound into the journal, into the diary. Right. So just taking that off. So we've got a nice clean page to work with. And just to give you a rough idea of the size I'm working with, if you work in A4, A5, you'll roughly know. But I'll just give it in inches. So it's 8 1/4 inches, and it will depend on how far you trim it in this way, but this particular piece is 5 3/16 of an inch, just to give you an idea. So this is our base. Now you could do this, like skip having a base. You could go straight to scrapbook paper or digitals or whatever you like. But I like using this one because it's cheap. It's very thin, so it's not adding bulk. And even once you layer it up with different bits of paper, it's still not super thick or heavy. So for this, it's folding it into thirds loosely. So there's no real rules about this. Mine turn out different every time. So folding that side in, and then I'm just going to flip it over and create a triangle, not quite to that crease. Just can't bring it back a little bit from that crease. And that's one side of our shirt top. And then this one, you can take it over as far as you want. Now, I don't aim to have this edge in the middle. But if you want it symmetrical, then consider that. I don't care whether it's to one side or another. And you will see as we go along why I don't mind. So I'm just going to choose there. Whoops, fold it straight might be a good idea. So there we go. And again, flipping it over to the inside and folding this triangle in. Again, not going right to that crease, just backing off a little smidge so it doesn't get caught up. Now I'm going to go ahead and glue those two triangles down. If you're working with a heavier paper, you might want to trim them off, but this is so light that it doesn't really add any bulk at all, and it just helps strengthen the top of that edge. So this is a pocket with writing space as well. It's designed to be glued onto a page. You could glue it on as a pocket or a tuck as well, or you could just glue it straight. So we're not going to do anything to the back. So this in the middle here is the back. So I'm just going to grab a pencil. Oops. Okay, so that's the center of the back. So that's where it's going to be glued down. Okay, so you can choose which way. I tend to make all mine open this way. I don't know why, I just do. Maybe it's because I'm right-handed, but you could switch it around depending on your preference or what side of the page you'd like to pop it on. Okay, so the base is ready. Now we need some decorative paper. So we're going to decorate this flap here, and we're going to decorate this flap here. Okay, easy peasy. So let's choose out a couple of papers that we would like to put together. I think I might go with these stripes for, I think that could be fun, couldn't it? Okay, let's just take that for a start. Tear off this white. Oops, if I can control my paper. Now I have just printed these on photocopy paper because they're going to be layered up, you know, on top of our base. So I didn't need to print on my heavier paper. This is absolutely fine. So it's I didn't mention the name of the kit. That is very remiss of me. This is called the Vintage Christmas Kit, available from Creating With Jovi on Etsy. And all the links, as usual, will be down in the description box. So you can head there and find it really easily. I'll link the kit. I'll link all Jovi's different channels, social media channels, etc. for you, so you can find her easily. I don't know why I'm doing Christmas. I guess inspired a bit by Gail Agostinelli, who's doing 5 Christmas journals at the moment. Just so much fun to watch her rip through and create such beautiful journals all in a row, all Christmas themed. So maybe it's just getting me into that Christmas vibe a bit earlier. Right, that should do now. Okay, so I'm going to measure off a bit that's wide enough for our inside flap. That looks about straight. Oh, just went a little bit haywire, but it's okay. And then I'm just going to line up my ruler along that angle of the where we folded the paper under. Try and get that kind of semi-straightish, and then just tear that off. And we should have a fairly good match for our flap there. So I'm going to glue that down. Now you can put the same piece of paper on both sides, which is typically what I do. I am wondering about mixing it up a little bit and putting a different paper on the other flap though. So maybe we should give it a go. There's nothing to be lost except some paper. And that's really not lost. You can cover it over, you can, you know, do all sorts. Just popping that down as straight as we can. Oops, I've got a bit of glue on there. It should dry okay. Right, so what would we like to put with it? So here is some more sort of journal card type ones. So they're all mixed up. So maybe I'll pull out the more ephemera style ones. Not feeling the stars with it. This diamond pattern. It's another journal card one. This is fun. I love this knitted pattern. There's a thicker stripe. Oh, that's pretty. Love that. Let's go with that one. Excuse me, just going to have a wee sip of my coffee. It's quite cold this morning. It's chilling off. It was not too bad first thing this morning because it was really quite warm yesterday afternoon and I had the fire going, so it has stayed warm inside, but it's now starting to chill down and it's not going to be as warm today outside. And I haven't got the fire going today, so my nose is starting to do a little, you know, when it's cold, get a little bit drippy, and my throat seems to be getting a bit scratchy as well. So I do apologise for any interruptions where I take care of either my throat or my nose and having to clear my throat. Not ideal, but it is what it is. Right, so I'm going to do the same thing. I haven't taken the white off the bottom. That's all right because we will only be using part of this. Actually, I probably do need to take the white off, but oh, sorry, crash. About there. As you can see, I'm not being ultra precise. If I have to trim it down a bit further, so be it. I'm just making this as quick and easy and measureless as possible without having to measure everything. Yep, that does fit on there. Great. Right, so again, just finding that angle of the pocket. There. And sometimes it doesn't tear very well on the angle when you do that, so you end up with little jaggedy bits. Just neaten them up, particularly at that bottom point. Doesn't seem to like cutting across the point, or tearing across the point, I should say. Yep, cool. Okay, so glue that on. So really fun, quick and easy project, I feel. And I do want to get some of these done for Happy Mail, you know, heading into the festive season, or even as gifts, you know, in person. Little gifts in lieu of a card type thing, maybe. I just think that would be really cool to send in Happy Mail too, because even once you put a tag or something in them, they're still relatively lightweight. Okay, sweet. Love that so far. Okay, this one's going to be glued down just along the bottom as a tuck spot. So we need to collage in the back, depending what you're using. If you're, for example, using coffee dyed paper or scrapbook paper or something, you may not need to. This could be left. The white is actually fine, but I don't want all this text on the inside, so all of this area needs to be decorated somehow. I like to use this as writing space, so this is like little bonus hidden writing space. So that's where my little coffee dyed diary pages come in, and I'm going to use that. So I don't care about the little writing, I just think that adds some cute detail. And I like to do the panels separately rather than go across. It just helps it fold nicely. It doesn't get kind of too bulky anywhere. So again, just trying to find where that crease is. Whoops, miles off. It's very hard to see the crease at this point. Little smidge more. I think that will do. And then I like to come in like this. I'll do the bottom first because definitely don't need the bottom. And all these scraps here, they will go into my collage bin, my scraps bin. Right, now making sure it's lined up where you want it. All fitting, yep. Right, so I come in here and I do the same thing, finding that angle and coming down inside it a little bit. I like to leave a good centimetre or so inside. And then working out where I need to go to. So I need to come to about there. So I'm almost there. Again, leaving just a bit to go under your top flap, just so it's all nicely covered. And glue that in. This is my cheats way of doing things like this. Just eyeballing it, measuring it against the piece and tearing and leaving myself a bit of wiggle room that can either be trimmed off or hidden under something. Right, just making sure I get that to the crease there, or just close to. Oops, too far out. Oh well, we'll just trim off this bit that's too close to this crease. Just a sliver. Here we go. Cool. So we've got this writing space here so far. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this side down. Actually, I'm going to ink first, which is entirely optional if you're not an inker. Don't need to ink. You could do it in a nice Christmassy colour too, would be cool. Okay, yep. I'm not going to do the stuff that I can do afterwards. I'll ink that off camera, or maybe ink one of them just to show you the finished. Come on, glue. There we go. So just along that bottom. I did the first one I made like this. I did glue up the side as well. And then I just found that when I put a tag or a journal card in, it was off center and it just didn't look quite right. So now I leave it as a tuck spot so that I can have my item, whether it's a tag or journal card, sitting in the center inside our shirt here. So I'm just going to ink this as well. And here I go. I might as well complete the job while I'm at it. Said I wasn't going to do it, did I? Okay, well, it's done now. Right, so now we cover this bit. Is this piece of paper going to be big enough? Oh, not quite. Not quite. That's all right. We'll just grab another page. I mean, I've got a whole diary worth, so, and it only cost me 7 cents. It's not going to be the end of the world to grab another bit, is it? I might tidy up that edge a little bit. Put that on my glue. Yeah, just tidy up that edge a little bit. That scrap can go in the bin. And what I need to do is ink this so I can actually see it. So here's a good reason for inking. It helps you visualize where the crease is. There we go. Isn't that so much easier? So we're going to, oops, already got this covered in crumbs. So I've been messaging with family members this morning because my mum's 80th birthday is coming up. So I'm trying to organise the family to do something, you know, get together, have a meal. So I've been chatting, and then a question come up that my mum needs to answer. So I've messaged her, but I haven't heard back yet, which is fine because it was only like 8:30 this morning when I messaged her, and that's, you know, that's quite early. I know she'd be up, but she's probably doing something like getting breakfast on the go, or, you know, just getting on with life. Okay, there we go. So let's glue that in. And it's also the day of my mum's birthday is also the day that my niece is celebrating her 16th birthday. So we're going to go out for lunch for my mum's birthday on the day, and that's also ends up the day that my niece's birthday will be celebrated, even though they don't share the same date. If that makes sense. Am I making any sense? If I'm not, I apologise, but hopefully that actually made sense. I found it very difficult to explain for some reason. I think it makes sense. Okay, so there we go. We have our shirt, but a shirt needs buttons. Don't you think a shirt needs buttons? And this is where I think it's really fun. Just a bit playful. So I hunted out, I thought I had a star. I was going to try a star, like a big star as a button, but I don't have one. But I did find another circle punch that's not broken, so yay. And I also found a Christmas tree, which is broken but held together with tape, so it still works in one piece for now. And I thought that might be cute as a button as well, but I'm going to go circle. And for the buttons, just move my scraps somewhere out of my way. I have chosen out a mixture of other papers. So I've got some scrapbooking paper, I've got jelly print, variety of other bits and pieces that I thought would work with Christmas colours. So that's quite orangey, so that doesn't work. We could go a more olivey green, might work. I feel like that's wrong for this. Could go yellow. How about this? This one's double-sided. How about this end? Let's go this end. So I'm going to punch 3 circles. 1, 2, 3. And depending how deep you've taken your triangle is whether you can actually fit 3 on. And this is also going to form as a closure. Okay, so just making sure they all fit. They just fit. Yes, I think they will look cool. Okay, another little detail is I like to create little buttonholes. Not actual holes, but just like look-alike holes. So I take a black pen, black marker, so I'm using a Sharpie fine pen, and a circle stencil. You don't need to use a stencil. Typically I would measure, and yeah, I actually measured this, but you don't have to. You can just eyeball it, and you can just go in and make a couple of dots. But I'll show you this just because. And so I just go in the smallest hole and colour it in and make a little 2 buttonholes. Now if you really wanted to, you could actually make holes. You could put some thread in there. I just want to give the illusion of them being buttons. Why? Because I just think it's fun. That's the only reason. You don't have to. You could just leave them as circles or whatever shape. You could put flowers if, you know, if you're not making Christmas ones, or if you've got a poinsettia looking punch or something. You can make them whatever you like. I just like them as buttons. I think it's cute. So this way they are at least the same size. But totally unnecessary, really. But I've got that stencil. My husband bought it for me. So let's use what we've got, if we've got it. Okay, now, so I need to make sure this one's quite the way up the top so I can fit them all in. And so this one I'm going to glue on this side. So it's going to attach to where the stripes are. So I just want to put glue on less than half. I want to go right up to half. And make sure I've got it. And I don't care if the buttonholes are straight or whether they're different angles. I think that just adds a bit of, okay, and making sure that still flips up. Okay, now the others we're going to glue on this part. Okay, does that make sense so far? So again, I'm just going to go about halfway. Sorry, hopefully I'm on camera there. I just realized I was a bit far back. So we're going to glue there. And same for this one, just to about halfway or a little bit less. And kind of just trying to make them as straight as possible along that line. So these two bottom ones are just hanging free. They're just attached to this bit. This top one is attached to the other side. So the only place it closes is at this top plate here. And then it just tucks back under. And you could just have one button if you choose. You could have two. I like odd numbers for, you know, it's visually appealing to our eye. So I like to put 3 on. And then all that remains then is to make a little journal card or a tag to pop in there. And you can make it with coordinating papers, or you can make it with a different paper, however you like. So let's go ahead and make a little journal card. So I'm going to actually use another page of this little diary, because I think that's going to be, yep, that's going to be tall enough. We will need to trim it down, so that's fine. Excuse me. Right, hopefully that will keep me going for a bit. So let's trim it down in height. So we want to get rid of this raggedy edge again. Yeah, I'll go right up against the lines, I think. And this will again be our base for the tag. So I'm going to make a tag. So open that back up, make sure we're fitting it inside our pocket or our tuck spot. Go about there, I think. Oh yeah, now my nose is starting to go. And what did I do with my tissue? Right. And let's go. So remember, you've got a glue at the bottom, so you need to bring your height up a little bit. It wouldn't matter really if it stuck out the top of your little shirt pocket, but I like it just tucked in there. Cool. That's not straight, I don't think. No, that's not straight. Let's just straighten that up a little bit. So I'm just going to use my craft knife so it's a nice because there's no way I'm going to tear off that little sliver. There, that's better. Now, I think this will be the writing side because it's got less text on it. So this is the side that I'll cover. Now, what paper would we like? We could use our bows. We could use our stripies. Wherever I put the stripies, here we go, buried. We could use a couple of different ones. So let's do that. So for this, first off, I'm going to tear a strip so it's a straight edge, so that this is left straight and not wonky. Make our life a bit easier for later on. And then I want to give this a more, or I should say a less uniform edge is what I'm meaning. So it's a bit more interesting. Might end up covered, but that's okay. You could just cover it in one paper. You don't need to collage it with multiple. Just do whatever. Do whatever you like, however you would like to do it. I just thought, why not? Why not mix and match? Since we've gone with two different papers on our front, let's go with two different ones on, or maybe even more than two, on our wee tag. If I can line it up straight. There we go, that's better. If it's off, I'll just trim it up a bit more because I didn't get it right to the top, but we're going to create our tag top anyway. Right, so let's include some of our lovely bows here and wreaths. So this one I think I am just going to go ahead and tear. And I didn't quite take it to the bottom, which is absolutely fine, because I'm going to put something else there. I haven't even asked you how you are today. How rude is that? How are you today? Are you having a great day? I hope you are. I'm having a good day, albeit a cold one. You know, I can foresee I'm going to have to light the fire sooner rather than later. Okay, so we need to patch this little bit down the bottom here that I didn't include. So I'm going to grab out some book page. Good old book page. And it's got a nice tiny writing. It's from a poetry book that's written in French, and then it has translations in English at the bottom. So just checking the text. So there's got the word cruelest down here, so I'm just going to make sure I hang that off the bottom and trim it off. Otherwise it's okay. Just a little bit of text. Okay, let's form our tag shape. So just arbitrarily choosing an angle. So this tag is also very thin, lightweight, because it's only on that thin diary page. So ideal for mailing if you're using a diary page like I am, because it still ends up very, very thin. Right, so decorating time. Let's see what else is in this kit. I'll just grab it out from under everything. Sorry for my arm being all up in your face there. I know there are some bits to cut out. See, getting a little peek at some more of the pages as I flip through there. Right. So we've got this one, and we've also got this one where it's got a lovely candle on it. I think this one's really appealing to me. So, the reindeer's cute too. Just a rough cut out there. And my fussy cutting scissors, and I'm just going to leave a white border around it. You know, all the little pine needles and leaves and bits and pieces, I'm not going to be cutting into those. That would like take forever, and they'd be so spindly they'd probably break off anyway as soon as you put a glue stick near it. So I'm going to leave a border. Super cute little angel. A very happy face. So sweet. Concentrating, obviously. I've gone quiet as oh yeah, definitely concentrating. I've had a couple of nights of not sleeping that great. Last night wasn't too bad, but I was thinking about this project, or rather trying to think what this project was, because I had this project in mind to do the other day and then ran out of time. And so last night decided, yep, my video will be that project, but I couldn't remember what the project was. Like, I knew it was using these digitals, but I couldn't remember what I had planned on doing. And so 2 o'clock this morning, I was lying going, what is it? What is it? What is it? I was driving myself nuts trying to think what the idea was. So eventually it came to me, and I could actually go back to sleep. But the night before, I had been up, or not up, but awake for several hours from midnight. I just couldn't get back to sleep. And it was so annoying. Oh, isn't she sweet? She, I guess it's a she. So need to ink around. And I definitely want some more layered bits happening. Sorry, trying not to dirty you up, little angel. But yeah, a little dirty. You're a young angel. You've been out playing outside, and super sweet. Okay, what would I like to lay out? To me, she, I'm just going to call her a she, because I don't know, that's what she looks like. She might be singing, so that lends me to music. little bit of music in behind. So I want it vertically, so we're just going to put the music sideways. I don't worry about things like that because it's texture. Do we want to put it? No, I don't want it right against that side because then we're hiding most of that stripy paper. So I'm going to narrow it down a little bit and take off that straight edge. And which side? Maybe that side's better. And take it right up to the top there. Yep, I like that. So all our torn edges underneath that I was very careful to do are completely hidden by our little bit of music. It's funny how the way it goes sometimes, isn't it? You do these things and then it's like, why did I bother? You bother because it might show at some point. You don't know while you're constructing it, so you do it just in case. Okay, I think I'm ready to pop her down in place, and then let's see what else we might like to add. Thinking maybe a stamped word or a stamped number or something. I don't know if I've got anything that's specifically Christmas related. We could go a stamped label as well, would be another option. Enduring. That's nice, isn't it? Let's do enduring. It's actually on avocado dyed paper, but it's very pale, so I think that's fine. And it's not straight. And I don't think I've got enough room to tear it, so I'm going to just straighten it up a little bit. I think. I don't know. Maybe my cutting is completely wonky and it's still crooked as a dog's hind leg. I think I'll hang that, I think. Yep, so I'll ink this and trim off the bit that it hangs over. Yeah, I've got bags of avocado juice, shall we say, the pink juice in the freezer. I need to get some out and do some more avocado dyeing because I don't think I've got any paper left before my husband has a dung out of the freezer and throws it out. That would be awful. Okay, and then we can ink around it. Let's take care of that bit as well. And then there's one final touch I like to do on these, which again is entirely optional. So let's go ahead and ink the back as well. You know, I've done most of it, so I might as well finish the job. Don't you think? Okay, so my final step is punching a hole. like you often do for your tags. And then I'm going to make some hole reinforcers. About there. And I'm going to use the same paper that I used for the buttons. And I discovered I'd been actually making these the wrong way round, that it's actually easier to punch the small hole first. So I want one for the front and one for the back, so I'm going to do 2. And then go in with your larger circle. And it's easier to make sure they're in the middle. So I've been making them round the wrong way all this time. I mean, it's still not foolproof. I still get them off centre quite often. But certainly I have better success getting them centred than I did doing the larger circle first. Here we go. So one for the front, one for the back is what I'm doing. I'm going to give them a little edge with the ink. Okay, just a little touch. Oh, sponge, would you behave, please? And I'm going to use tacky glue to pop these on. Oops. Glue seeping out there. Come on, glue. Come on. Super cute. I love the little handmade hole reinforcers. I just think, because you can customize them to your project, so they match perfectly. And then you can put some little fibers or a ribbon or something, some string in there if you want. I'm trying to think what I did. I think I've done them without and with, just depending how I'm feeling or what look I want. So there's our little tag. Really cute. I may go back in and put some fibers in the top, I'm not sure. And that tucks in to our little tuck spot there. And that closes back up. And so we've got a tag in there. We've got some hidden writing space. And then the final touch is adding something here. So again, it could be a word, could be a label. Could be a stamp, it could be whatever you like. I'm just going to have a look at my little stamped bits and pieces here and see if anything jumps out and goes, oh, premium quality. That could be fun. Little red. That's quite nice. I like that. There's also a green. There's a green label. It kind of blends in a bit much, I think. No. This is the one I was looking for. Couldn't find it. A couple of little tickets. This one, it's a different green, that might stand out a bit better. How about that? I know it's only 2. I'm very, very conscious that there's only 2. I think it's actually okay though. because combined with the buttons it gives us 5, which is still an odd number, albeit they're different shapes. Right, put this one down first, I think. Got a dried glue on the nozzle, and that's all I can see while I'm trying to squeeze out the glue. If you're used to my channel, you know that's the little things that distract me and bug me, like that bit of dried glue on the nozzle. So let's get that off. There, cute, just a little bit of decoration. You can decorate it up as much or as little as you like. I just like to do a little something. I often just go with a word or some sort of label. Yeah, what do you think? I just absolutely love them. I love making them. They're relatively simple and just fun. And then it just closes up and glue it down to a page. So you can glue it down, say this is a journal page for example. You can pop it here as like a tuck spot. I haven't got a journal card handy, but let's say this is a journal card, so you could, as a tuck spot, so glue it down there, tuck spot, or a pocket, side loading pocket, or a tall skinny pocket. You could even center it and have it as a belly band right through the middle there. So lots of ways you can do it, or you can just have it loose. You could decorate this or put writing space if you wish and tuck it into a pocket because it is very lightweight. Or if you're mailing it, you know, you might want to decorate the back or do something with the back. But I intend on gluing it down. So some of them I probably will do the backs on because I want to be able to send them out in happy mail. So there we go. There is my design team project for Creating with Jovi. We've been going quite a long time. I was hoping I'd make more than one, but I wanted to also complete the process so that you can see. Yeah, cute, really happy with it. I hope you enjoyed the project. I hope you give it a go. Take care, have a great day, and I'll be back tomorrow with another video for you all. Take care until then. Bye.